Lord of the Rings Timeline Explained. Complete Middle-earth Timeline. Now, saying that the history of Tolkien's universe is complicated would clearly be a major understatement. After all, the history of the world of Arda is so vast and huge that makes Tolkien's universe one of the most fascinating in all of fiction. So on that note, welcome back to Factholic. And today we bring you a complete, comprehensive timeline to help take you through the entire history of Arda and Middle-earth. However, please keep in mind that quite a few times the on-screen versions conflict with the books. So this is actually much more of a general guide than a document set in stone. Also, a note on time periods. Between the beginning of time and the First Age, years are given in Valian years. Valian years last between 9 and 10 regular years, according to Christopher Tolkien. Not all events have precise dates. So with that out of the way, grab a pack of Cheetos and join us on a ride to Tolkien's world of Arda, where you'll see Middle-earth from the Silmarillion to the Hobbit and beyond. Let's start right away. The time before the creation of the world and the beginning of time. Era Iluvatar, the father of all and the supreme deity of Arda, creates beings called the Ainur, also known as the Holy Ones. The years of music. Iluvatar teaches the Ainur to make beautiful, divine music, which is their purpose. Melkor, the most powerful of the Ainur, becomes frustrated with Iluvatar and his slow teachings. He composes his own music and wants to become a creator himself. He purposely disrupted the Ainur's music and forced Eru Iluvatar to counter his disharmony. Melkor was publicly rebuked and hid his anger. Iluvatar shows the Ainur a vision of what they'll create with their music: the world, Arda, and the birth, life, and death of the universe, or Ea. The Ainur becomes restless because they want to live in this place. Ea is created, and the Ainur that decide to enter this world become the Valar, more powerful, and the Maiar, less powerful. They agree to the condition that they'll live out their eternal lives in this place and cannot leave it until the end of the universe. The beginning of time. Valian, year 500. The Valar enter Ea and find it formless. They take it upon themselves to create the worlds they saw in their vision. Manwë, Ulmo, Ale, and Melkor are the most influential Valar in creating the universe. Melkor decides the Arda, or the Earth, should be his own. Manwë and his loyal Maiar oppose Melkor, and in the end, Melkor stands down. Valian, year 1500. Manwë is established as Arda's ruler, but Melkor decides to go to war against him, the First War. While the rest of the Valar try to prepare Arda for elves, humans, and other beings, Melkor realizes he can change the course of Arda, but he does not have the power to undo what's already been done. Years of the Lamps. Valian, year 1900. Arda is a dark and lifeless land. The Valar want a single continent lit symmetrically by two lamps, one north and one south. Melkor plots to destroy the symmetry his fellow Valar have created in Arda. As they work to light Arda, the Valar are tired. Melkor's lieutenant keeps him informed of progress in crafting Arda. Valian, year 3400. While the Valar aren't paying attention, Melkor begins to twist and deform the animals and creatures of Middle-earth, infusing them with his evil. Valian, year 3450. Melkor destroys the lamps in his hatred for Arda and the rest of the Valar. As a result of the lamps' destruction, symmetry was broken. Arda becomes two continents, Aman in the west and Middle-earth in the south. Melkor flees to the north of Middle-earth in the fortress of Utumno with his loyal Maiar, including Balrog beasts. Valian, year 3500. The Valar create two trees that light Valinor. Middle-earth is left in darkness. Years of the Trees, 1085. Arome, a Valar, discovers the elves who have recently awakened at Quivianen in Middle-earth. He calls them the Elder. Melkor starts to capture the elves and use them to breed orcs and trolls. YT 1090. To protect the elves, the Valar embark on the War of the Powers against Melkor. YT 1092. The Valar arrive at Melkor's stronghold, Autumno, and lay siege to it. YT 1099. Melkor is finally defeated and captured. YT 1100. The Valar return to Valinor with Melkor. They sentence him to 3 ages of imprisonment. Melkor's first lieutenant, Sauron, manages to evade the Valar and stays in Middle-earth. He continues Melkor's work of breeding trolls and orcs in Angband, a fortress in the Iron Mountains. YT 1101. The Valar invites the elves to leave the darkness of Middle-earth and join them in Valinor. 3 elf ambassadors journey to Valinor: Ingwe, Finwë, and Elwë. YT 1104. Ingwe, Finwë, and Elwë return to Middle-earth and try to convince the Eldar to leave for Valinor. YT 1105 through 1165. The Great Journey of the Elves. Many elves leave for Valinor, but some choose to remain in Middle-earth. This is the first sundering of the elves. Not all elves who depart for Valinor make it to the land. Some turn back along the way. The Eldar who make it across the sea establish new cities in Valinor. YT 1362. Galadriel's born. YT 1400. Melkor is set free from imprisonment in Valinor. YT 1410. Melkor begins to befriend some of the Noldor elves who live in Eldamar in Valinor. YT 1450. Fëanor, son of Finwë, High King of the Noldor, completes the Silmarils, great jewels made from the light of the 2 trees. They're invaluable and begin to corrupt Fëanor as he becomes suspicious of his fellow Eldar and the Valar, thinking they want to possess them. Melkor, seeing an opportunity, spends the next 2 decades creating dissent among the Noldor. He convinces Fëanor that his half-brother, Fingolfin, wants to become heir to the throne in Finwë's place. YT 1490. Fëanor threatens to murder Fingolfin, and the Valar banish him from his city in Tirion. Many of the Noldor accompany Fëanor, including his father Finwë, and he takes the Silmarils with him. YT 1495. The Darkening of Valinor. The Valar learn of the hand Melkor had in Fëanor's actions. Fingolfin and Fëanor make peace with one another. Melkor destroys the 2 trees of Valinor with the help of Ungoliant, the giant spider. Melkor steals the Silmarils from Fëanor, killing Finwë, and returns to Middle-earth. YT 1496. The Noldor pledge to leave Valinor and follow Melkor to Middle-earth to reclaim the Silmarils. Fëanor asks another elf tribe, the Teleri, for use of their ships. When they refuse, the Noldor take them by force. For this crime, the Valar warn that any Noldor that proceed to Middle-earth will forever be banished from Valinor. YT 1497. Fëanor accepts the sentence, the doom of Mandos, and leads some of the Noldor to Middle-earth. Many of his people stay behind. Melkor reunites with Sauron at Angband. Fëanor is killed by Balrogs while pursuing Melkor at Angband. YT 1500 or VY 5000. The Valar create the sun and the moon from the remnants of the 2 trees. Middle-earth is no longer in darkness. Melkor is renamed Morgoth by Fëanor.